Breaking news. Say goodbye to FastPass, FastPass Plus, and hello to Disney Genie, Disney Genie Plus, and the Lightning Lane. I've been telling you guys about this for a while, about how at Walt Disney World they would be getting rid of FastPass Plus and replacing it with a paid service. The writing has been on the wall for years now that this would be coming. Well, today we got word from Disney on what it would be, and these new offerings are coming this fall. My name's Connor Brown, WDW Opinion. This is a special episode. It is 10 o'clock at night. I'm recording this for you, my fine friends, as a special breaking news episode. Breaking news episode. Whether you're listening or whether you're watching on YouTube, we just got this news. So what I'm going to do here in this special episode, it's not going to be like a normal one of our structured episodes. I'm going to break down all the stuff that we know right now and then give you my WDW opinion on it all. Again, this is in real time, August 18th, 2021. I'm telling you all this right here, right now. And this is all going to change too when we learn more information about exactly what Disney Genie is, what Disney Genie Plus is, what Lightning Lane is, all of it. But I wanted to jump on here, do this late at night, do this podcast special for you guys so that you can, listen to it, get my thoughts on it, and then hopefully you can, better understand it more as well. I shared a lot on social media at WDW Opinion, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.com/WDW Opinion if you want to learn more. But this is going to be an interesting episode. But to start, let's just do the breakdown of everything we know so far. So there's three components that Disney announced today. There's Disney Genie, there's Disney Genie Plus, and there's Lightning Lane. At the core of the announcement was the regular Disney Genie. This is kind of what everything will be funneled through. Disney Genie is going to be a service that is incorporated into your My Disney Experience app and your Disneyland app. So it's going to be available on both coasts. My Disney Experience is for Walt Disney World. The Disneyland app, of course, is for Disneyland. And Disney Genie being in those apps, it's a tool, a complementary tool. The regular Disney Genie is complimentary. Is a complementary tool that will help you plan your park day. You'll be able to tell Disney Genie what attractions you want to experience, what shows and entertainment you want to see, what places you want to eat at. You tell Disney Genie all of that, and then Disney Genie will spit out a customized itinerary for you based on your selections. That itinerary is going to tell you when you should visit what attractions, when you should go to what entertainment. If there's any dining availability, it's going to tell you when to get it, where to go, that sort of thing. And as the day goes on, Disney Genie will automatically update this itinerary based on current park trends. So the Disney Genie application, again, which you can find in My Disney Experience when it launches, whenever it launches, we only know it's sometimes this fall, it is going to use historical park data that they know, that Disney knows of what crowd levels might be depending upon the day and the time of day, and real-time data depending upon who actually showed up to the park and what they're actually going to experience. And it's going to automatically customize your itinerary throughout the day. So you put in, I want to experience Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean. Disney Genie will say, go ride Haunted Mansion right now. It's going to be the lowest wait times all day. Ride it now. Then after that, at 10 a.m., go ride Jungle Cruise, and then at 12:30 go ride what was the third one I said? Pirates of the Caribbean. That's your order. That's what you're going to do. This is all saying you're going to go to the standby line and wait in those, etc., etc. Additionally, if you are not sure what you want to experience, you can just select general topics like Disney princesses, villains, Pixar, Star Wars, thrill rides, those sorts of categories. And when you pick those things, Disney Genie is just going to come up with an itinerary based on those selections. Those selections, I think, are more for the first-time guests, the unexperienced guest, the person that doesn't really know what they want to do, even though they're in Disney World on that date. If you're listening to this, you probably know, I want to do these attractions, I want to see these shows, etc., etc. So there you go. I think the important thing about this complimentary service is that you don't need to follow it to a T. And you don't have to use it at all. If you like going into the park with your own plan, or you use a third party to help you plan your day, you can still use that. You don't have to open up the My Disney Experience app and use Disney Genie at all. It is not a requirement. It's merely a free element Disney is offering to help people plan their day. You don't have to follow it. You don't have to do it. If you do choose to use it, like I said, you don't have to follow it to a T. You can listen to it as much or as little as you would like. You don't need to use the service at all. Again, if you have a plan in mind, you go with that. That's Disney Genie. That's Disney Genie. Disney Genie Plus is the paid service. Paid service that you can choose to opt into. Again, like regular Disney Genie, you do not have to opt into it. You do not have to pay for it. You can go about your day like you normally go about your day in Walt Disney World. But Disney Genie Plus, if you choose to do it, will cost $15 per ticket per person per day, right, at Walt Disney World, and $20 per day per ticket at Disneyland. So if I'm going by myself and I'm only going for one day and I want to use Disney Genie Plus at Walt Disney World, I would pay $15. If I want to go for 2 days and use Disney Genie Plus, I would pay $30. If me and a friend are going for 2 days and we want to use Disney Genie Plus, then we're going to spend $60. Right now, we don't know if it's going to work like the Park Hopper ticket. So a Park Hopper ticket, let's say you want to go to Disney World for 5 days. If you do the Park Hopper ticket, you have to add it on to every single day. You can't say, I want to do 2 park hopping days and 3 non-parking hopping days. You have to add it to the entire ticket. We don't know if Disney Genie will work in that capacity, if you have to add it on to every single day, or if you can do, I want to have it for this day, but I don't want to have it for this day. We don't know that yet. All we know is that if you use Disney Genie Plus, $15 per ticket per day at Walt Disney World, $20 per ticket per day at Disneyland. Much like FastPass, which was a system out in Disneyland that is now retired because of Disney Genie Plus, FastPass, just like that, and just like with the original FastPass legacy FastPasses, the paper FastPasses, this will revolve around comeback times, comeback windows of when you can ride select attractions. So remember with Legacy FastPass, the paper FastPass, you would go up to a machine, let's say at Haunted Mansion, you'd put in your ticket, out would spit a paper FastPass, and it would say, come back and ride between this hour, and you would go through the FastPass line. MaxPass out at Disneyland was the same sort of thing, but you were able to use your phone. You didn't have to go up to the front of that attraction to get a paper FastPass. You could just use it from your phone, look at the availability, select one, and go from there. With this service, like with Legacy FastPass, like with MaxPass, you'll only be able to hold one comeback window at any one time. You can't have two of them. You can't have three of them like FastPass Plus. You can only have one of them at a time. When you use your first one, once that's done, then you can get a second one. Once that's done, you can get a third one, and on and on and on for the remainder of the day. You can do it the entirety of the day. Now, what you were able to do with Legacy FastPass, the paper FastPass, was, let's say it's 10 a.m. and you pull a FastPass for Toy Story Mania, and your comeback time isn't until 4:30 p.m. 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. You were able to hold on to that one, but at the bottom of the ticket, it would say you can get another FastPass starting at, and it was typically 2 hours from the time you pulled that ticket. So if you pulled a paper FastPass at 10 a.m. for Midway Mania, and it said come back at 4:25 p.m., typically on the bottom, it would say you can get another FastPass starting at noon. Disney would do that because they felt like it's not necessarily fair that you have to wait until 4:25 when there's other FastPasses available. So they'd make you wait a little bit, and then you could go and get one in your next window. With this, we don't know if that's going to be a component of it. If you have a Disney Genie FastPass, whatever it is, a Disney Genie Plus reservation, if it's further down the line, we don't know if you'll be able to get another one in between that window if it's very far away. We just know right now you can have one at a time. When you use it, then you can get another one. And again, it's all done through the Disney Genie Plus element of the My Disney Experience app. When it is your time to experience the attraction that you have a Genie Plus reservation for, I keep wanting to say Disney Plus Genie. That's not it. Disney Plus is a streaming service. Listen, this is all very complicated. Disney released a 14-minute video explaining all of this. They know it's complicated, okay? So, all new terminology too. Genie Plus. When it's your time to ride, when your Genie Plus reservation comes up, you will enter that attraction through the Lightning Lane. The Lightning Lane is replacing the FastPass Plus queue. Explaining all this, I feel like that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia gif where Charlie's at the chalkboard and he's like had a conspiracy theory, like note cards and string attached to another note card with circles. It's all connected. It's all connected. This is this. I feel like a crazy person explaining it, but this is what we got. You'll enter through the Lightning Lane. Again, that's replacing the FastPass queue, and you'll get to wait in line at a reduced time when compared to the standby queue. So here's an example of how I think it would work based on my knowledge of Disneyland's MaxPass, which again, this system is very similar, and Disney has even said this is like FastPass. This is like MaxPass. It is 9 a.m. I'm in Magic Kingdom. I purchased the Genie Plus for that day. I want to ride Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I pull up the My Disney Experience app, and I see that the next comeback time for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is 9:25 to 10:25 a.m. I wait my 25 minutes. 9:25 rolls around. I head over to Big Thunder Mountain. I show my pass or I scan my band, however it's going to work. I scan my card. I go through the Lightning Lane. I ride that attraction. And when I get off, I decide I want to get another I want to get another Genie Plus to go through the Lightning Lane, but I want to ride Pirates of the Caribbean. Pull up my app. I see the next comeback time for Pirates is 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's now 9:45, I wait 15 minutes. When that time comes, I go to Pirates, I go through the process, and that process continues for the remainder of the day as long as I keep getting Genie Plus reservations. You can continue to do it as long as there's availability. You can continue to do it as long as you keep selecting it. But here's another example. It's 9 a.m. and the next available comeback time for Big Thunder Mountain is 12 to 1 p.m. Since right now I can only hold one comeback window at a time, I would need to wait until I ride that attraction or I cancel that reservation to try and get something earlier. That's how I think the process will work. Okay? What attractions are available in this tier, in the Disney Genie Plus tier? That's still to be determined. You'll be able to make your first Disney Genie Plus reservation starting at 7 a.m. that day. So you wake up before the park opens, 7 a.m., you get your first one for the day. You can't hold on to any others, but you got your first one for the day. You go in the park, you ride it when you ride it, and then you're able to get another one. What's interesting is at 7 a.m., that's also the time when you have to do boarding groups. So, Rise of the Resistance has a boarding group. It was just announced that Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, when it opens in Epcot on October 1st, they're going to go through the same process. They're going to have boarding groups. So, if you're going to Hollywood Studios and you want to ride Rise, you go to Epcot, you want to ride Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, you need a boarding group for it, you would have to go through that process first. And then if you have Genie Plus for that day, then you would be able to book one of those based on availability. Lightning Lane, like I said, is what is replacing the FastPass Plus queue at Walt Disney World. That's where I just lost my train of thought. This is the queue that you would utilize if you have a comeback window through Disney Genie Plus. You'll enter this queue and experience the ride at a reduced wait time when compared with standby queue. In addition to utilizing the Lightning Lane for Disney Genie Plus comeback windows, guests will also be able to purchase 1 to 2 individual comeback times and utilize Lightning Lane for that. So that is going to be an a la carte purchase. These attractions will not be included in Disney Genie Plus. So you would need to purchase them in addition to Disney Genie Plus or a la carte if you do not have the Disney Genie Plus for that day. What these particular attractions are, how much they will cost, and how many will be available each day is to be determined. What I have heard is the Disney Genie Plus service, the one you pay $15 a day for, those are going to have the middle tier sorts of attractions, right? Those are going to have a lot of great attractions. I think they said over 40 or over 50 at Walt Disney World. So a ton of options there. We don't have the full list for Genie Plus, but a lot of middle tier options. And then this a la carte one, which is not included in Genie Plus, which is an additional fee. Those would be your Rise of the Resistance, your Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, your huge, massive attractions. Those would be in the separate tier that you would have to pay for a la carte if you wanted to. I have also heard that there will be 1 or 2 of these in each park, and that people will only be able to book 1 or 2 each day. We don't know the prices, but what I've heard is that they're going to range from $8 to $25 per person for one ride. Again, speculation. That's what I'm hearing through the grapevine. But people will only be able to do this once or twice a day. And for those attractions that are a la carte, Lightning Lane passes, crazy words we're using, you can still wait in the standby line for them or get a boarding group for them, depending on what service they're using on that attraction, you don't have to buy in order to ride. You can wait in the normal line, go through the normal waiting process, or you can purchase a la carte. You just wouldn't be able to access it via Genie Plus. Oh boy. One more important thing. Anyone can book their first Genie Plus pass starting at 7 a.m. day of. But Disney Resort hotel guests can also purchase their first Lightning Pass add-on starting at 7 a.m. All other day guests have to wait until the park opens that day before they can buy their first Lightning Lane add-on. So if you're staying on property, you get first crack at the a la carte ones at 7 a.m. Everyone else has to wait until the park opens that day. So there you go. Genie, complimentary, free, itinerary planning. You do not have to opt into it. You do not have to use it. Genie Plus, $15 a day per person. Middle tier attractions. You get them one at a time. Availability, you can keep doing it for the entirety of the day. You go through the Lightning Lane. A la carte Lightning Lane, not included in Genie Plus. Additional cost, or a la carte if you don't have Genie Plus. A la carte, price range maybe $8 to $25. One more time. Genie, itinerary planning, do not have to use. Genie Plus, $15 a day, middle tier attractions. Lightning Lane add-ons, totally separate price. Can't access those rides with a Genie Plus pass. Have to buy extra add-ons, $8, $25. Might be more, might be less. We don't know. Those are the three main things. One thing I think is being overlooked that not a whole lot of people are talking about is DAS, Disability Access Services. So this is a tool for people who can't wait in a long line for medical reasons, what have you. What you used to have to do is you would go to guest services every day when you got in the park. You would register for it, and then you would go to the front of every attraction, scan your card. They would give you a comeback time. You would come and ride that through the FastPass lane. What you're able to do now is you can register for your days 30 days prior via the My Disney Experience app. You'll get a live video chat with a cast member. You can register right there, and you can book your DAS passes through the My Disney Experience app. The way DAS works is it's not necessarily FastPass. What happens is if you want to get a DAS, and again, you can only hold one DAS at a time. If you want to get on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and it's a 90-minute wait, what DAS will show you is that, okay, you come back in 90 minutes and then you can go through what was the FastPass line. Now it's the Lightning Lane. So you're still waiting to ride that attraction. You just don't have to wait in line to do it. And again, that's Disability Access Services. You have to qualify for it. You used to have to register in person day of. You used to have to go to the front of every attraction you wanted to get a pass from, and cast members would help you. Now you can do it on the fly via the app. I think that's going to help a lot of people, save a lot of time for people as well. Okay. Oh, Lord. That's the news. My back hurts so much. Oh, my gosh. Here's where we get into the opinion stuff of the matter. There are a couple other elements that you get with Genie, the complimentary stuff. You get, free, like AR looking stuff. You get audio tours. You get some little things here or there, some extra Disney magic, as they like to say. Whatever, that's not that important. We don't have all the info. So it's hard to get a real feel for this, but you probably know the internet has exploded with this news. The Disney internet, at least. All I know is, like I said, Disney put out a 15-minute video explaining all this. Have they ever put out a 15-minute video explaining anything before? I can't remember it. In a world of TikTok, 15-second TikToks, 15 minutes is an eternity online. So for Disney to put that out, 15 minutes, laying out all we know, explicitly, as explicit as they can be right now, they're worried that it's going to be confusing. And guess what? It is confusing. I'm confused by a lot of it. I'm sure you're confused by a lot of it as well. We're also the minority when it comes to day guests, park guests. An average guest going is going to be very confused by it. If this is your first time going to Walt Disney World or Disneyland, because they have the services too, you're going to be confused. Disney's afraid of that. So that's why they're rolling this out now. That's why we don't have a date yet. They want to get all this information out, bombard people with it. They're going to keep hounding people with it. It's going to come out in the fall, but we don't know when. I will also say, keep those poor cast members who are in the parks, who are going to have to explain all of these things to people in the Florida heat, day in and day out. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers. I was there when FastPass Plus was in its first year. That was hard enough to explain, okay? This is 10 times worse, if that. That being said, and you guys might think I'm crazy, and that's okay, I am cautiously optimistic for this. I really, really am. I've been preaching for a while. I've been telling you guys for a while, this is coming. Paid FastPass is coming. It came. It's not as bad as I thought it was. And when I say bad, I mean price-wise. And I think it will be beneficial. I think it will be very beneficial. For me, what it comes down to is what attractions are going to be available in each tier. So what can we get with Genie Plus? And then what is going to be a la carte for those attractions? And then a la carte, what is the price per attraction going to be? Is it going to fluctuate from day to day, hour by hour? I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But cautiously optimistic, want those questions answered first, and then we'll go on from there. I do want to address all the people who are freaking out about this. All of the people who say, well, that's it. I will never be going to Walt Disney World ever again because of this. All the people saying, nice job, Disney. Way to ruin the magic. To all those people, I will say, what has changed? What has changed? What has changed? The answer is simple. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. If there was FastPass Plus service today that you were able to take advantage of complimentary with your ticket, and tomorrow Genie Plus came out and you had to pay for it, I will give you that. I will give you that now it's paid FastPass. You had something yesterday and now you have to pay for it today. I will give you that. But guess what? They haven't had FastPass Plus for a year and a half. The parks have been reopened since COVID for a year and a half, and there hasn't been FastPass Plus a single day in that year and a half. FastPass Plus died in March of 2020. That's it. Simple as that. FastPass Plus has not existed for a year and a half. This is not replacing FastPass Plus. FastPass Plus has been gone for a year and a half. And look at this. The number one complaint that Disney gets from guests is what? Lines are too long. Lines are too long. I haven't been able to ride enough rides because lines are too long. I know this from firsthand experience. I know this from firsthand experience from working at the time at the most popular attraction in the most popular theme park in the world. I worked at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train in the Magic Kingdom at its height, at its peak. I know every day guests would come up. This line is ridiculous. This line is too, you gotta be kidding me. Too long, too long, too long. I know people in guest relations who that's all they get. Lines are too long. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I know the surveys that Disney gets that say lines are too long. We hate it. Lines are too long. Number one guest complaint, lines are too long. On the flip side, what is the biggest guest satisfaction item that has come out of Disney in a while? MaxPass. MaxPass in Disneyland has been a home run. MaxPass is that service where you'd pay $10 a day. You were able to get a FastPass using your phone like a legacy FastPass, like the paper FastPasses. So you could be anywhere in the parks. You could get a FastPass, ride, and then get another one and keep going through the entire day. When it was announced, people hated it. It was only in Disneyland. People hated the announcement. And then guess what? They started using it and they loved it. I personally have never heard of anyone that has used MaxPass who hasn't absolutely loved it, who hasn't recommended it, who hasn't said, you have to use MaxPass. They've all said that. They've all loved it. They've all used it. Every time they've gone back, when it was there at Disneyland, they would buy it again. So Disney knows what their number one complaint is. They know what their biggest satisfaction item is. They know that the good thing, MaxPass, can help alleviate the bad thing, waiting in long lines. So that's what they did. They doubled down on MaxPass. They doubled down on it. Let's also discuss what you'll be getting for free with the regular Disney Genie, which you can use or you don't have to use it. It's up to you. You're going to get Disney Genie, which will help you build custom itineraries. It will look at historical trends and day of trends and help you maximize your time by showing you when to go to certain attractions. This all remains to be seen if it'll work well, but right up front, we're getting that for free with purchase of a theme park ticket, obviously. In theory, it will show you what attractions have lesser wait times and will say, go here now, take advantage of it, less waiting in line. And you can take advantage of it. It's free. It might help you out. But what's also great, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. You don't. You can go about your day like normal. It's not a requirement. It's an option. And if it works well, it's going to work really well and it'll be free. From Disney's perspective, if a lot of people start using Disney Genie, again, the complimentary itinerary planning service, if a lot of people start using that, they can better spread out the crowds. They'll see, oh wow, there's a lot of people in line for Big Thunder. No one's in line for Haunted Mansion. Send more people over to Haunted Mansion. It will balance out the wait times for standby lines across the board, right? So you might have less walk-on attractions, but in theory, you'll also have less, 2.5 hour waits. That's what Disney's trying to do. They're not trying to make every ride a walk-on. They're trying to maximize your time. So maybe you do have to consistently wait 20, 25 minutes. But if you're able to do that across the board, you would be able to ride more attractions than getting to walk on 2 rides and have to wait 2 hours for 2 other rides. That's how it would work. Again, in theory. In practice, remains to be seen. I have talked about this before on the show. If you have to stop the standby line every 30 seconds to let FastPass Plus people in, that means by default, the standby line will increase in wait times. It's like a traffic circle, right? If you come to a traffic circle and you continuously go, traffic moves more efficiently. If you replace that traffic circle with a 4-way stop sign, it backs up because you have to stop. You can't yield and go. You can't merge. You can't continuously be moving. You have to stop completely. And that's what creates congestion. FastPass Plus does that. You stop the line, even if it's for 10 seconds, you let people on. That's limiting the standby line for getting more people through. But if you take away that element or you drastically reduce that element, which Genie Plus will probably do because fewer people will be taking advantage of it, the standby line can move more rapidly, and that means the standby wait times go down. FastPass Plus is gone. Disney Genie Plus is here. Because you have to pay extra for it, less people will be taking advantage of it because there's a price tag on it. With fewer people now in the Lightning Lane, what used to be the FastPass Plus lane, with fewer people in that queue, the standby line will move quicker. So in theory, this should work. We shall see. But when you put this FastPass behind a paywall, one, you get rid of having to book it 60 days in advance. Because remember, with FastPass Plus, you had to book 60 days in advance if you wanted to get all the stuff you wanted to. And you can only book it one at a time. Remember, FastPass Plus, you would book 3. And then once your 3 were used, maybe you could get a 4th. When you remove the 60 days, when you remove 3 at a time, and you replace it with not 60 days, you replace it a day of, book it one at a time, put it behind a paywall, fewer people are going to opt into it, fewer people are going to use it in mass. That should reduce standby wait times. Couple that with the regular Genie helping to spread out crowds, and that should help across the board. But let's say you do have some extra bucks lying around, or you're taking that once in a lifetime trip, you want to do it all in one trip, then paying for Disney Plus, I did it again, paying for Disney Genie Plus might be worth it. If you have a couple extra bucks or whatever, at the end of the day, Disney is in the business of making money, right? Newsflash. They have shareholders. They're not some mom and pop shop, but they also aren't stupid. Everyone online, nickel and diming. Not everyone. A lot of people. This is ridiculous. Disney's nickeling and diming. I can't believe this. I've had enough of their nickeling and diming. Do you think Disney chooses to nickel and dime people over one trip? Or do you think Disney wants to have as much offerings as possible that can bring guests back again and again? If I rephrase that differently, is Disney nickeling and diming people to squeeze every penny out of them, thinking they'll only be here once? Maybe. Or are they offering more opportunities to take advantage of services that they've created, which will help you have a better experience and in subsequent make you want to come back time and time again? I think that's what it comes down to. I think if these services work well and you have to pay a little bit extra for it, that's fine. Because if you have to pay a little bit extra, but it's flawless, and you get to walk on attractions, and you get to experience all you want to do, and you have a blast, $15 a day, that's all it takes. And I know it's not all it takes because there's everything else combined. But if that pushes someone from just going on one vacation to becoming a lifelong fan, that's in Disney's best interest. Disney, it's not in their best interest to squeeze everything out of you. It's in their best interest to offer you other services that can be very beneficial to you, that you can have a great time with, that can make your vacation incredible, that you will be able to come back time and time again because of that, because you have good experiences, but also because you have good experiences, you tell your friends, you tell your neighbors, you tell your coworkers, and then they come. You know what earns Disney money? When you visit their theme parks. You know what earns Disney a lot of money? When you become a lifelong fan and you visit over and over and over and over again. I think these services, if they're as beneficial as they were, will create more of those fans. And again, you don't have to use it. You don't have to use it. There's still plenty of unknowns out there. I will give everyone that. But for all the people who say this has ruined everything, I want to ask you, was FastPass Plus the reason you went to Walt Disney World? Was that the main reason you went to Walt Disney World? And now, for $15 a day, is that the reason that you're not going to go to Walt Disney World again? If that's your reason, that's your reason. That's fine. Everyone has the straw that broke the camel's back. And that's different in anyone's mind. And I'm not judging you or blaming you for that. But think about why you actually go to Walt Disney World. And here's the thing. If more people actually stuck to their guns and said, forget it, I'm never coming back, less crowds, baby. I'm all for that. But we are such a minority, even though we're the obsessive Disney fan. The average guest in Disney is a day guest, one trip, maybe in their lifetimes, 2, 3 trips, maybe in their lifetimes. They're not coming back time and time again like we are. And I know why we're so emotional is because we love this place. I get it. But nothing has changed that much. We haven't had FastPass Plus for a year and a half. This is being replaced. We still have standby. We still have all the attractions. We still have everything. We hear these complaints all the time. Yet, what happens? People keep going back to Disney again and again and again and again. Ticket prices increase every year. That's it. Over it. Done. What happens the next year? Disney has record attendance. Ticket prices go up again. Ridiculous. Can't stand it. Disney comes out with an insanely priced Christmas party. You've got to be kidding me, Disney. Sells out on the first day. Happens all the time. It happens all the time. Here's another thing. Universal Express Pass. How much does that cost? Universal Express Pass, which gets you front of the line access to all the attractions, right? That is over $100 per person per day, in addition to your theme park attendance, in addition to your theme park ticket. Over $100 per person per day, depending upon the day. Six Flags America, my local crappy theme park, which, by the way, is horrific. It's an awful place to go. Do not recommend it. They're what they call Flashpass, which is an awful name as well. Sounds like you're getting flashed. I'll show you my Flashpass. Oh boy, I'm going to get flagged for that one. Their Flashpass, the base one, $45 a day per person, in addition to your theme park ticket. $45 a day per person per day, Six Flags America. Hershey Park, their fast track, as they call it, The bottom level of Hershey Park's Fast Track, $49 a day per person. That's in addition to the ticket you're already paying to get into the park. But that bottom level, depending upon the day, can go as high as $130 extra dollars a day, in addition to your theme park ticket. That's the base one. They have 3 more tiers above that you can pay for. That doesn't get you everything. And it could cost you $130 extra per person per day at Hershey Park. I know it's a lot of apples and oranges comparing Universal, Hershey Park, Six Flags America to Disney, because we still don't know what exactly we get with Genie Plus. But do those numbers shock you? What you would pay for this similar style service at a Universal, at a Six Flags, at a Hershey Park? Do those numbers shock you? Because they don't shock the other people. Because those theme parks are still in existence. People are still going to those. They have those prices right as you get in, right at the gate. Not shocked by that. But Disney is at the top of the industry. They have the magnifying glass of criticism pinpointed directly on them. I get it. So that's why when they announce something that's cheaper than the other things, all things considered, we still don't know the final details. That it might be more, or it might be comparable to those prices, but you're going on a Disney attraction versus Six Flags awful attractions, which one Six Flags ride did decapitate a man. I'm just saying. Again, there's so much unknown. Rather than throw the baby out with the bathwater, maybe, here's a crazy idea, we wait and see how it goes. Maybe we give it a week. Maybe once it occurs, once it launches, maybe we give it 7 days. Just 7 days. That's all we have to do. See how it works out. Maybe we owe Disney that much. Could we do that? Maybe we do that. I'm not a Disney apologist. If you said to me right now, Connor, would you rather have Genie Plus or Legacy FastPass, the paper FastPass? I would, of course, say paper FastPass. I want that. I hated how, with FastPass Plus, you had to pick the attractions you wanted to go on months in advance. I hated how months in advance, when you had to pick those attractions, you knew that day, oh, well, there's no more Flight of Passage. Guess we're not going on Flight of Passage because I'm not waiting in the standby line. I know I can, but I'm not riding it without a FastPass. I hated how months in advance I knew if I could not ride an attraction. And a lot of people didn't like that as well. I hated how with FastPass Plus, you could only have 3 FastPasses at once. You could only book 3 FastPasses. Very rarely could you get a 4th one, if you had a big group especially. I hated how they ran out so quickly. I hated how everyone had access to it. It wasn't really that big of a benefit. I hated how it made the regular standby lines longer. But I am picking paper FastPass over Genie Plus because I know what I'm getting with paper FastPass. I don't yet know what we're getting with Genie Plus, other than this preliminary information that we've received today. We have to think about the general population. The population that's going to Disney who will know nothing about this. How the regular guest will not be deterred by this information. You know what's so funny? A couple years ago, I took my best friend to Disney. He had been there when he was a little kid. He was an adult now. He was paying his way in there, like we all were. We get in line. I had booked our FastPass Pluses, so he didn't do any of that. I booked them all. We go through the FastPass Plus line. He's like, God, these things are so awesome. It was like our third FastPass Plus of the day. He's like, so how much extra did we pay for that? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like for FastPass, like how much extra does it cost per day? Like that was included with our tickets. And I'm like, you don't pay any extra. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, so anyone can use it? Why doesn't everyone use it? And I said, because not everyone knows about it. Even though Disney, communicates this as much as possible, that you could do this, that you could book in advance, very few people would. Now, those very few people are still a lot of people and would make the FastPass line insane and the standby line insane. But even with that small amount of people doing it and making the standby line that much, not everyone knew about it. But my friend just assumed that we had paid for FastPass Plus, and he was all right with it. He knew we were getting a good deal with it. He assumed we were paying for FastPass Plus, and he's the normal type of guest that goes there on a day-to-day basis. That's just something to think about. We've been spoiled for a very long time, and I get it. We want the old ways. But Disney has also heard from people who say, I hate planning so far in advance for this. I want to do it when I get there. I want some spontaneity. I want to go with the flow of it. That's why they rolled back how you can only book them when you're going to be there. That's how Genie is going to work. That's how Genie Plus is going to work. That's how the a la carte Lightning Lane purchases are going to work. They listened to us on that. And I also love how everyone is blaming Bob Chapek for this, who's the CEO right now. Who was the CEO when Disney Genie was first announced at D23 Expo in 2019? Bob Iger. At the time, Bob Chapek was in charge of the parks, but if you're saying the buck stops here, Iger knew. Iger knew what was coming. Iger knew that there was going to be a paid feature with Disney Genie. He knew that. But Chapek gets the blame. I just think that's very interesting. Listen, I am still nervous about all of this. I am cautiously optimistic, but I am nervous about all of this as well because I like how Disney is right now. I don't like change either, but I also want to take full advantage of everything that I am being offered. And that's what I think you guys should do as well. Still need to learn so much, but I'm nervous about how much the a la carte FastPass will cost. I'm nervous about how many they will have each day. I'm nervous about if any of this will be available to annual pass holders, which I am. If in actuality Disney sells as many as possible, I'm nervous for that. And I'm nervous that maybe you really do need this to experience everything if Disney starts selling a lot of them. A lot of them. I'm nervous that it might become a requirement. I am nervous about if you can make your first Disney Genie Plus selection at 7 a.m., how will that affect you getting a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance or Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, which also open at 7 a.m. I'm nervous about all of it. I was also nervous on my first day of school. I was also nervous in my first semester of college. I was also nervous my first days working by myself in Walt Disney World. But guess what? It all worked itself out. We live and we learn. Change might not be a welcome thing. It might be a scary thing, but it is an inevitable thing. And this is not a nickel and dime thing. This is something that Disney hopes will help people across the board. I truly believe that. Of course they're going to make money off of it. Of course they are. They have also invested a lot of money into it. You don't just build a software app overnight. If you're upset with this price, do yourself a favor. Go look up what a VIP tour costs. Look up how much a VIP tour costs per hour and how many hours is the minimum requirement. Because a VIP tour, that has been unlimited fast passes for decades now. And everyone had access to it if your check didn't bounce. Now, this might just be more readily available. But you could always do this with a VIP tour. It is what it is. This is happening. The sooner you come to terms with it, the better. And I think there's going to be a lot of really cool things with this. I think there's a lot of potential to have a lot of fun with Disney Genie, Genie Plus, Lightning Lane. I really, really, really do. I'm nervous, cautiously optimistic. I'm excited, but we have to wait and see. We are going to learn more about it. We will be going not into it blind. Disney World will release more information, but we're going to adapt and overcome. I know I'm going to give it a shot as soon as I can. I'm going to share all the tips and tricks I learn about it with you all as soon as I get them. And I hope you share the tips and tricks that you learn with us as well. We got this. We'll figure it out. And I'll leave you with this. When Disney Genie debuts, the standby line at every single attraction will still be there. Boarding groups at attractions that utilize them will still be there. When Disney Genie debuts, the Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Kilimanjaro Safaris, all the attractions will still be there. Eating and drinking around the world showcase will still be there. Homecoming in Disney Springs will still be there. Mickey Mouse, he'll still be there. When Disney Genie debuts, the Tree of Life, the Hollywood Tower Hotel, Spaceship Earth, and Cinderella Castle will all be there. The important elements of what we love in a Walt Disney World vacation will still be there when Disney Genie debuts. The way we wait in line may change a little, but those important things will still be there. Plus, I've heard that Country Bear Jamboree is considered a walk-on attraction and will not be a part of any of this. So you can walk right on all the time. Just keep watching that over and over, baby. Country Bears, let's go. Here's hoping that since it doesn't have a FastPass line, People Mover will be in that same camp as well. A boy can dream. A boy can dream. If you want to share your thoughts about all this craziness, head over to the Opinioneers community at wdwopinion.com/opinioneers, OPINIONEERS, and let me know your thoughts. Keep it civil, people. Keep it civil. But that's it. News is over. Rant is over. I have a new show ready for you guys to go. It'll be live next week, next Tuesday in particular. I'll talk to you guys then. And in the meantime, keep living the dream. I'll see you real soon. Connor out.